ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णकृष्णाय श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नारायण नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणे हरे कृष्णा. So we read today verse chapter 2 verse 57. So let's chant the shloka. Ya sarvatra anabhisnehas
सर्वत्र नभिस्नेहस्
tat prapya shubha shubham
तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभं
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
य सर्वत्र अनभिस्नेहस्
यः सर्वत्र नभिस्नेहस्
तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभ
तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभं
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेषति
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Please chant.
यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहस् तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभं नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
यत् सर्वत्र नभिस्नेहस् तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभं नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Anyone else? Okay, so translation and purport. In the material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it nor despising it, is firmly fixed in perfect knowledge. Purport. There is always some upheaval in the material world which may be good or evil. One who is not agitated by such material upheavals, who is unaffected by good or evil, is to be understood to be fixed in Krishna consciousness. As long as one is in the material world, there is always the possibility of good or evil, because this world is full of duality. But one who is fixed in Krishna consciousness is not affected by good or evil, because he is simply concerned with Krishna, who is all good absolute. Such consciousness in Krishna situates one in perfect transcendental position called technically samadhi. So Krishna explaining up to replying to Arjuna's question, right? How to understand who is Stita Pragya, or who is a person who is fixed in the divine consciousness. So Krishna now answering his question, and so this yesterday's verse also answered the how a Stita Pragya speaks. Right? So yesterday we saw that he will be equal in even if he gets misery or happiness, he will be equal. He will say that it's all my prarabdha karma and I have to face it. So here Krishna is continuing the same theme, how he speaks. So he's unaffected by good or evil, because even if you don't have desire, okay, remain unattached to the desire, still good and bad things will happen with you. And this person who is Sthita Pragya, he will not uh, praising and despising or blaming two opposite sides, right? So if you get something good, it is quite possible that you may praise yourself, or you may praise your action, or you may praise action of your beloved ones. And if you get something evil or something wrong happens with you, it's quite obvious that we always try to blame someone. Because of this, I am doing this. Because of that person, this happened. So, but a Sthita Pragya is a person who is not affected. Yesterday we saw. So he will neither say anything to person who is giving him trouble, nor he will say that or praise himself. So he will not say, he will not react. And why? Because he is fixed in perfect knowledge. So what knowledge we are talking? He's not talking about spiritual knowledge, that he's fixed in his goal. He's fixed in uh, understanding or progressing towards the self-realization. So all these other things does not affect him. So we were discussing, like, if you have to ignore the good or bad or the temporary things, then you should have something higher which will help us to look forward for progressing in the spiritual path of self realization. And then we don't get affected by these small, not always small, but always the impediments that try to divert our goal. So something will be happening at every moment with us. It will be either good or bad, and that mind, yesterday we saw that everything that good or bad is judged by mental concoction, and the sthita pragya don't run after that mental concoction. He knows that this is everything is done by mind, and so he focuses his mind through the intelligence on the inner self, so which is a higher purpose, and mind wants a peace and bliss and happiness always. So through the internal happiness he can ignore the outside things, what's happening around him. So for example, we have to give mind something higher. So a very simple example, in office, right? We all are doing jobs. So in office, when you enter the office, new joinee, you will be doing very small activities, a very small level of work that's actually executing. But as you grow, as you stay longer in the same company, you gain the experience, and then you go organizationally to the higher level. Once you go to the higher level, you don't focus, you are not supposed to focus on the small things that you were doing when you enter the company. So when you become a team lead or a manager, then you know that, oh, this small thing, those small things will happen. You don't focus there. You look on the upper side, what more I can do, what overall I can do. So you have a bigger engagement than doing the same. So if initially you used to do the printouts, you will not do the printouts. When you become the manager, you will tell somebody you do these printouts, because you know there is something higher that you can do, and you don't want to engage in that small work. The work itself is not small. The work is itself is good, but your consciousness and your level of knowledge has increased, so you will focus on higher things. And so even if the printer is not working, that does not affect you. You will be least bothered about that if the printer is not working, or the person who is printing is present or not present in the office. It does not bother you, because you are working at different levels. So the mind engages in that way. So similarly, if we have to engage our mind on higher purposes, we have to focus inside. The more we focus on inside, then the lesser the external things will affect us. So another example, like when you are inside, so we see in the train, right? There are so many trains in Japan. The trains are very comfortable. So if you travel by trains, it does not matter if the outside temperature is hot or cold. The train will adjust their self. They will adjust the air con in the train. If it's cold outside, they make it hot. If it's hot outside, they make it cold. So till the time you are in the train, you can travel very peacefully. You don't bother about the outside things. So the example is that if you are inside, the outside things don't bother you, because you can maintain and you can manage your internal things, and internal inner atmosphere you can manage with intelligence and with your atma, right? And that gives higher peace. And when the mind gets higher peace inside, it will it will be peaceful, and then it will not try to find the happiness outside. So that's this way. A Sthita Pragya is a person who knows this, who has this knowledge, and who knows that how to engage mind in the higher purpose. So Krishna says the mind can become your friend if you have the knowledge. So Sthita Pragya has that knowledge that make mind your friend. Use the same mind to do the higher things inside, not outside. And then so Krishna is giving here the same, that he is not he does not praise or he does not envy anyone for any trouble that he gets. He tries to be equal. uh, Reacting is a natural phenomena that any person will do, but even if Sthita Pragya person reacts, he reacts with very deep understanding and very deep thought. Why? Because he don't want to engage in unnecessary into several things. So for example, if we use phones, right? We use many social media. So sometimes it happens that you get message and you know that you should not reply to this message, but somehow you reply that message, and then you are stuck up in the chain of the messages and emotions, so many things. So if you are careful which message to reply, which not to reply, what to check, what not to check, then you are less entangled in that instrument and that messaging. So then it can be useful. So Sthita Pragya will not say, he will not praise or envy anyone. He will be thinking inside. So here Srila Prabhupada says he's fixed in Krishna consciousness. So he's fixed in his transcendental position, trying to understand himself and his spiritual identity. So you don't need this outside. The outside things does not impact him. So this is today's shloka, and there will be more from to next shloka. Krishna will explain how this Tita Pragya acts, right? So little bit I spoke today, but tomorrow Krishna will give more details how this Tita Pragya acts in this material world also. Hare Krishna. That we will see tomorrow. Okay. Hare Krishna. Anybody wants to add anything or any experience, any questions, any realizations? We have some time. Okay. Thank you very much for joining, and we hope to you join tomorrow. And because tomorrow shloka Krishna will tell how to act to become Sthita Pragya, because this is our aspiration also, right? We want to become like that. So we have to understand how to act. We saw how to speak. Now we'll see how to act. So that we will see tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining and keeping this going on. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.